Today's PIX Parenting Plus, the 3 principles of parenting alignment.
And how those principles can transform families. Parenting expert and founder of Parenting on Mars, Rachel Fritz, joining us this morning to share her insights. So good morning to you, Rachel. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
So what do you mean by Parenting on Mars, and how'd you come up with that?
Yes, so I founded Parenting on Mars because I was really looking for a way to support parents and help them become really the parents that they want to be. I'm a former preschool teacher. I'm a mom of 3 myself, and I hear all the time from parents that they know how they want parenting to feel, but there are things that get in the way of that, or they haven't quite figured out how to live into that. And so that's what I do in my coaching and in my support of parents. And Parenting on Mars is a name that really speaks to finding ourselves in uncharted territory. Parenting can be a wild place to find yourself, and a place that, often folks say they weren't prepared for. And so that's what the name Parenting on Mars really speaks to.
Okay, so what are, 3 principles to parenting alignment?
Yeah, so what can often get in the way of us showing up in the way we want to is being in misalignment with a spouse or a co-parent. And so many parents will tell me, hey, we're not on the same page. We have different parenting styles. And while I don't think different parenting styles is the end of the world, there are some things that we can do to be more aligned and to create more harmony in the home. And so the first thing I tell parents to do is get really clear on your history. For yourself, this means looking at generations of how parenting has played out in your family, how you were parented, how your parents were parented, and getting clear on what some of those patterns you might have inherited. I like to think of it as a garden. It's like we all have this garden that was planted for us. And as we get older, we look at it and we say, well, these things over here, I want to uproot. That's not really serving me. And maybe others, we tend to, because it is serving us. And so that's what parents can do to understand their own history and then communicate that with one another so they know, we know where each other is coming from.
I mean, is this alignment, though, about shifting the power dynamic at all?
It certainly can be. It's very much about being introspective and understanding ourselves versus trying to control what others are doing.
Okay.
Something that research shows us is that in order to benefit from all of the goodness from a secure attachment, kids really need to be securely attached to at least one caregiver. And so that lets us kind of breathe a little and focus on our relationship with our kids without trying to control how maybe a spouse is showing up or how they're saying something so much.
So how do you, as the parent, ensure that there is that attachment? Putting down the phone, what is it?
Yes. I love this question because I get to talk about my own kids and how this plays out in my home. So my attachment to my children is really defined through a million small moments, but something that I really hold close and think about is the way that my kids experience me. They're not going to remember exactly what you said or exactly what you did or what they experienced, but they're going to remember the way they felt around you. Yeah. And this becomes your legacy. This becomes what plays out in their own parenting and in future generations of your family. And so the result is it's kids who will tell you anything, know how to apologize, and are just really free and open with their expression of their love. Yeah. And I think that's all we can ask for.
That's beautiful.
All right, Rachel. Thank you so much. We appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you for having me.
We're headed to Mars after we get out of here.
I'm already there.